Hi everyone, welcome to this new Gamersyde Live. Tonight we are going to show you WRC 7, which is going to be released tomorrow, as far as I can remember. And as usual, Driftwood is going to do the playing and most of the talking. Hi Driftwood.
Yeah, hi Blim, hi everyone, and a few things we should say before we start. Basic excuses for how bad I'm going to play. One, you might actually not have a very smooth experience on the stream because the setup, for whatever reason, is back to doing
as usual, I would say.
Crappy things. Yes. Maybe it's because
it was completely reset.
Yeah. So we
it's quite complex. So yeah.
Yeah, complex is
I did what I could.
Is an understatement, I think. And second thing, still because of the setup, the sound that I hear is delayed compared to what I'm playing. So basically, it's going to be much tougher to react to what I can hear with the sound engine and everything. And that might explain why sometimes I won't be able to play as well as in the videos. Not that I was the best ever in the videos, but I did my best to play properly and also show that you could make mistakes. We are going to see a lot more mistakes tonight, that's for sure. And also probably because when you speak, although I did try to train a lot this week with Dafton talking to me, or me talking to him rather, while I was playing to see if I could do it. And without pressure, it sometimes worked. I'm pretty sure tonight it's not going to work, but Blim will try to fill in the blanks maybe. and
Wow.
And actually, it's 2 years after the last. This also is another problem I have with my controller and the cables I'm using, which apparently have decided to go haywire. So, well. Hopefully this will not happen during a stage. If so, at least the game will pause and I will continue when I can. 2 years ago, if you remember, Blim, we were live streaming WRC 5, which was the first WRC title to be developed.
I don't remember at all.
You don't remember? I think
no.
I think we did it in English and French.
No, I believe you. I just completely forgot.
Yeah, and it was the first time developer Kiloton was working on the game, and game had
that I remember.
Game had issues, graphical mostly. It looked very dated, but the gameplay was very reminiscent to me of the old Colin McRae games back when didn't have to a rally game didn't have to be extremely demanding in terms of the driving to be realistic, where you didn't block the wheels every time you slightly pushed on the brakes and everything. And so I liked that feeling and that vibe I got from WRC 5, and I was hopeful that the next episodes would improve over the first that they did develop. And it was true. Last year was much better. It looked better. It still looked like a game with a pretty low budget, I guess. But it played well. The stages were more interesting. They were narrower, so it felt more realistic too. And when we saw the game in Cologne at Gamescom with Miguel, we were quite impressed by how the visuals had tremendously improved over last year, and in the final game I was just as convinced by the visuals as I had been in Cologne, and even on PS4 Pro, because I actually played both versions quite a lot this week, which is why I couldn't maybe do everything in each version, of course, and in each version, but even on PS4 Pro, the first feeling I had when I played the first stage in Dirt 4 a few months ago on Pro, where I said to myself, "Wow, this looks ugly in Michigan," and it was 60 frames per second, of course, but it didn't look very nice to me. and the game on Pro and PS4 and Xbox One is locked at 30, which is also good news because the previous games had unlocked frame rate, and you and me both, we know how painful that can be for people who don't like that, like us.
Yeah.
And this time, well, yeah, it's not 60. I wish I could say it was 60 and it was great, but no, it's 30. There's no tearing issues like you know, Formula 1, F1, the latest one on PS4 Pro, which is 60, but with tearing, yeah, I guess it was the right choice to do, and I'm sure some people will just dislike that because, you know, car racing games are supposed to be 60, especially when there's you know, there are simulations, and this game is more a sim than an arcade racer, in my opinion, although it's more accessible than Dirt Rally. So I'm not going to show you all the menus because I have actually screenshots of everything you can find in the menu on the PC version. This is the PC version running, in case you're wondering. And I'm going basically to show you that well, we can select any of the 13 countries right from the start in the quick game menu, that you can play all rallies if you want, and then you have basically 4 stages per country, which to me is not enough, and the reason
it's never enough.
Yeah, but when it's good, it's...
No racing game currently has enough tracks, I would say.
The thing is, when it's good, you want more, and they are good. I think last year, and maybe even on WRC 5, there were more of them, but the thing, they were much shorter. So basically, what they didn't do, I think, you know, the last 2 years, what they did, they had like maybe one long stage, and then they cut the stage in, you know, in several pieces. And here it's not the case. But out of the 4, you get one epic stage, which is supposed to be longer. Sometimes it takes, like, you know, bits and pieces of some stages, you know, which is a bit of a shame too. But they're not all like that. And you also get, but not in every country, but you also get, for example, if I go here, you also get a super special stage, which is actually a copy of the real one, so it's the exact same scale, but of course it's much shorter than because it's more like a track, so it's not as long as a normal stage, let's say, in a rally game. So out of the 4, sometimes you get 3 real point A to B stages and 1 super special stage, except for a few countries where you don't have a super special stage, because I guess maybe in the WRC championship there is no super special stage in those countries, but I'm not actually very sure. So what I could show you is I could start with maybe France, and you can select whether the difference.
Well, is it really France?
Some people probably will say no. People living there.
A minority of people would say so. Anyway.
No, just some, few people living there. Yeah. So yeah, Tour de course, and you have a section of weather. That's what I was going to explain. Oh, very nice. This is going to be fun tonight, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to try to switch cables if I can, but I'm not even sure it's going to make a difference. Maybe it's the controller. It's my brand new controller. By, you know, the Microsoft Design Lab.
Already.
Maybe that's the. Okay, I'm going to switch controller just to see, just for fun. I'm back to my Gears of War. I don't know what edition this controller is, like blue and gray, very nice. So maybe the new one is not working properly. So, weather. Last year and the year before, you could select weather and time separately. This time, you don't get to choose that, and there's a selection of weather plus time of day. And the developers told us in Cologne that the reason was that they wanted to be sure that every possible condition looked very nice. So, which for me means that some combinations you could have last year and the year before didn't work. And it's true. Sometimes the game looked uglier in some conditions, and now it's pretty, everything's pretty. But the thing is, for example, here you have dawn, clear sky, and cloudy. If you want to play if you wanted to play this dawn and rainy, you can't. So you should know that, because that actually, is more limited in a way than it was last year. And you have dawn, you have noon, you have evening, and you have night. And usually night is not very dark. It's dark enough so you need the headlights when you're playing in cockpit view or in hood view, I guess. But it's not that dark. It was darker in the previous episodes, so I don't know why. On the upside, the skies look very nice, whatever the time. But even at night, it's
does the console version support HDR?
No.
No?
No. I think I tried. First time I launched the game, I was wondering if it. So I had all the TV and consoles, everything was set up to see if it could work, but no. Which is a bit of a shame, I guess. But maybe next year.
Especially for the night stages.
So let's say this. And then you have the selection of cars. You have the new WRC cars, which are a lot more powerful this year than the others. You still get to play with the other ones, with the older ones if you want. There are only just a few of them. I should have the Porsche DLC, but apparently on PC it's not available before release, even when you have the review code for the final game. The DLC was something on the side, so I'm guessing it doesn't work before the game is officially out. I did try the car on PS4, and it's different. You can tell it's not a rally car. It's it drifts a lot, but not in the way you would like it to drift sometime on some surfaces. So it requires some getting used to. You have the Junior WRC. Basically, it's just one car with different teams. So this is where you should start when you don't really know the stages, because basically driving is not too difficult. Braking is pretty efficient, which is something that the developer said that some of the drivers, the rally drivers, told them that the cars didn't brake hard enough, and which could be addressed, of course, in the setup and trying to tweak and change everything if you want. But no, they do brake hard enough from a gamer's perspective, I guess. But the difficulty is actually getting used to the surfaces and being able to maintain control, but also to avoid all the problems that the environment actually has in store for you, because the stages are narrow, the stages are bumpy, the stages are really actually difficult to master when you really want to go for the higher difficulty settings. So I'll
how about showing the game?
Yeah, I'm going to
15 minutes later.
I know. Oh, actually I chose soft. But you have to tease the content. So you get to see first car, the car leaving before you go. Pretty nice presentation. Of course, don't expect incredible things.
20, right 9, into left 4, into right 7, tighten.
And I'm going to try to command
left 4, short,
if I can.
opens, and right 4.
Yeah, while playing on the Corsica
Right 8,
tracks.
short,
Yeah,
brake, into left 2, cut,
not that
30,
simple.
right 7, 30,
Sound is good when it comes to the sound engine. I'm not too fond of the co-pilot. Think it's
it's robotic.
yeah, exactly. Oh, so I did hit.
hairpin right, opens, 80,
So are there different damage mode, like just cosmetic.
Yeah, sure, you can do that. I found that the damage is well, they're visible and they affect handling, of course, when you start crashing the car a little bit too often. But yeah, you can lose parts and everything, but it doesn't look incredibly good when the car is damaged. I mean, compared to the rest, which again, the lighting, the stages themselves, the landscapes,
I really like the rocks, how they look in the stage especially.
Yeah, and textures are pretty nice also. You don't get to see them very well because you go fast and you don't stop. But
that's the one quality of the game. But yeah, at least in passing, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
And since there's no photo mode, it's not like you're going to spend hours.
No, there's no photo mode.
Well,
they could actually have added a photo mode. I think it would have. I don't think it would have shown the.
Oops.
Yeah. So you also, of course, you have different views. Strangely enough, the views you switch views by pressing the D-pad, which is not very convenient when driving. This is the zoomed cockpit view. You can choose. There are different levels of zoom you can choose from. This is the closest one to the windshield, which I think is the one where you actually can see the road and what's going on. Oops. This is what happens when you don't listen to the guy, and it's a stage I know. So you can see here it gets much narrower all of a sudden.
Into open hairpin right.
Sure is.
Into left 7, into right 3, short, don't cut.
And there are like rocks on the side, and you don't want to get too close to the sides of the road because it can be actually dangerous.
Reminds me of a hill climb event in Westport Challenge 2, I think, which was a nightmare because if you just put one wheel out of the road, you were basically dead.
Yeah, you can actually have flat tires in the game. Which sometimes may seem a bit unfair, I guess, a bit like in the previous games, because sometimes you think that you're going to get one because you drove on the side of the road and you probably damage your tires, but nothing happens. Sometimes it happens out of the blue. I mean, at least that's the feeling I get. But it's something that can also be patched, I guess, in the days to come, or weeks to come. And driving in the external view is not really my favorite thing, but I know that people like to see it, so I'm trying to show it.
Did they announce some DLC already?
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, yes. Beautiful.
They didn't announce DLC, but the Porsche DLC, which actually is a pre-order bonus, will be you'll be able to purchase it a bit later, even if you didn't pre-order the game. That's all I know. There might be more, but I don't think like rally games have a lot of DLC.
Well, they could add tracks.
Yeah, that would be nice. Because don't get me wrong, I mean there are like I think total 52 stages, including the super stages. So 52 is still a lot, and you get to drive for like what? Sometimes 6-7 minutes, depends on the car you have and how fast you drive, obviously. And the epic stages are sometimes quite long too. So it's not like you're not getting any stages. I mean, you're getting a lot of them. But when you play a rally and you only have 4, it sort of feels like deja vu sometimes when you have to run like a stage you've played before but in a different light, and if there were more of them that wouldn't be an issue. But look at the view again, the mountains in the background, and then and just remember
Right 8,
what
tightens.
you
Into
know
left 3, tightens.
how WRC 5 looked.
Into right 5, tightens.
It's a
Into left
phenomenal
9, and
boost
finished.
in 2 years, and even if you compare to last year, the game looked better last year, but it looked better
Yeah,
like
it wasn't a big leap like this one.
no, it looked better like a WRC game, you know, better. But here it's I would say it's almost on par with many other games of, you know, not just the genre but the racing genre. And so you see I did terrible, which was to be expected. Just quickly to show you that sadly replays have not been improved, contrary to what we've been told. Camera angles are so bad, and you know, like when they stick to the rearview mirror, like, you know, the view we had before, for way too long each time, so you miss a lot of things happening. And sometimes also, even when the view is nice, like the helicopter view, like mountains can get in the way, and they didn't even really, I don't take the time to check that, or maybe we should cut and switch cameras before the mountain gets in the way, because then it doesn't look very nice. Like also there's a cockpit view on the side, you know, and sometimes you can see that the camera gets in the head of the co-pilot and you don't see anything. A few things like that. This view.
Also, you don't see you see the textures which has not high resolution enough.
Yeah,
in the replay.
yeah.
They look quite bad.
So it really depends. But what I would like to see in replays, and I would like to believe that this is surely can be patched, but they never did. They never did anything in the past titles. They never changed the replays, and they told me that they had listened to the community and that they had, you know, used more angles like this one where you see the car and you can see the
but it looks distorted in this angle, like they are using how is it called, a fisheye,
maybe
a fisheye lens, and that doesn't look good.
So well, anyway, yeah, you're not going to get this game because you want to enjoy replays.
No.
So it's not the Gran Turismo of
That's
games.
what Gran Turismo is like.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go to Portugal, and let's see. Well, you know, if you have something you want to see, you know, time of day.
Yeah, go for evening. Yeah.
Clear sky or cloudy? What do you want? Do you want clouds or do you want sun?
Clouds.
Clouds, okay. So I'm gonna change car and take this one. So yeah, I'm not changing anything, but sure, you can also choose between the type of tires you want, soft or hard, and then you have all the advanced setup that you can use. And I'm not going to go into that, but yeah, there's front suspension and rear, transmission and brakes. So really you can tweak it, I'm pretty sure, and I hope I can play with the wheels sometime, because that's really a game when I played in Cologne that was really great when played with the wheel. I was a bit concerned that it
Flat left,
what did
right
I do?
8, tightens 5,
This is not
80.
something to do. I cheated. Sorry. So you have to press to use the handbrake. So you got to
Flat left, and right 8, tightens
but yeah,
5, 80.
the developers said that for the first time
Right 7, bumps, and
to
rock
them,
out.
they
Right
had
6,
designed the game
40.
with a wheel in mind. And
Right 4, short, into
so I was
left
concerned. I said,
5,
okay,
opens.
it worked very well
Right
with the
6,
gamepad before,
short, 30.
but is it going to work as well
Left 8,
now
and
they've
caution,
designed the
left 6,
game
short,
with
overpress,
the wheel?
into right 8,
And it
70.
worked very well with the gamepad, but the sensations I had, and Miguel,
Left
you know,
9,
agreed with me
overpress,
on that
30,
when we
kicks,
played
into left 5, very long, bumps,
in Cologne,
keep it,
were
tightens.
really awesome. I mean, it felt it
And
felt
right 4,
natural.
nose cut,
The car was,
30.
you know, the way the car responded was natural.
Left 8,
felt realistic.
long, tightens 4, short, keep it.
It's a game you're going to need focus and
Right 3,
concentration to
tightens, very
get the
long,
most of it.
30.
And like I said, knowing the stages and the different things that can be actually dangerous on the side or sometimes in the middle, you can sometimes the car that left before you can have an accident, and it's possible you actually crash into it if you're not careful. So that adds more tension to the races, because it's not going to happen all the time on one, on a stage. It could happen one time, and then of course if you restart the stage, it's going to happen all the time. But when you play another day, or when you play after going back to the menu and you replay the stage, the car will not have an accident. So I think it's really nice.
Right 6, brake, into left 3, tightens 2, gravel.
Having a hard time not being able to listen to the engine as I should be able to do.
Right 5, over crest, into left 7.
Yeah, we work on this for the next live right now. I have no idea.
I know.
Right, and crest, and flat
I'm just
right.
trying to
Also, we are
find
at 100% of your CPU right now.
Caution, brake, left 4, into right 6.
All 12
30.
cores are at
Right
so
3,
we are
opens,
losing some
into
frames.
crest.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but
Into brake, right 5, into
be
left
better.
4, opens,
Well,
caution.
check the direct feed videos. They should be fine. If only the PC videos at 1440p, there might be. I was wondering because I was. Yeah.
we are good right now. We are at 95%. I reduced the OBS window, and now TVO doesn't use all the CPU anymore.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oops. So what's also great with the game is that the different surfaces, especially when you're on gravel and everything, it's all very natural, and
Caution, big jump, over crest, keep middle,
and you're
left 9, 100.
kind of stressful. Even the jumps, I think, are pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't.
Right 6,
They don't look
70, and
incredibly
finish.
completely realistic when in replays, but when you're in the car, the weight of the car and the way it jumps, and it feels pretty normal. So again, I can't say I did a very good job, but you'll understand when you try to speak while playing the game. This is not a game that was made for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun playing the game, and let's go to Poland, because I know you like Poland.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
So we
Couldn't
once.
take any vacation this summer because of Polish people, in fact.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So oh, let's take a bit of rain. I could show you WRC 2 still fast enough, and I think yeah, let's take your car. Citroen DS3 that I was able to drive to Germany like a month ago, a bit less than a month ago.
Really?
So, yeah, it was a nice ride.
Smooth.
Well, I wouldn't say smooth, because we had to cross the Belgian countryside, and the roads there are just crazy old or something, I don't know. But yeah, the car was really nice very pleasant to drive.
30, right 7, and left 6, short, 40. Right 5, bumps, into junction,
So obviously
80.
this doesn't feel like the car I was driving before.
Left
It's a lot
3,
less
very
powerful,
long,
but even
tightens,
the
into
way
right
it
4,
turns
don't
and
cut,
everything,
40.
you don't. Yeah, you have to learn to drive every car actually, which is pretty nice. Like I said,
Right
the
5,
driving
don't cut, tightens,
it's pretty
into flat
natural.
left,
So
30.
it's more or less like you're not
Dip,
playing
into
someone
left
who wants
6,
to become
short, bumps,
a rally
and right
driver.
5.
You're playing a rally
And left
driver,
6,
so you
short,
have
opens,
to
and left 7,
some of the
30.
reflexes already. Maybe the braking
Left 5, short,
is
don't cut.
a
Into
little less
flat right,
forgiving,
tightens
or
8,
clearly
don't
less
cut.
forgiving than
Kick,
in Dirt Rally.
50,
But I've
keep
always
left,
felt that
right
Dirt
3,
Rally, with
long,
the wheels
tightens,
blocking all the
30.
time, were a bit exaggerated.
I think you might not be talking right into your microphone right now.
Left
Oh,
6,
I'm
short,
right in
into
front of
right
it.
6, short,
the thing.
don't
Really?
cut. And
Yeah,
left
yeah.
4, 40.
But
Yes.
I wasn't saying
Left
anything
5,
important
tightens,
or interesting.
70. And left 4, brake, caution, into right 1, don't cut, 30. Flat left, tighten 6, into right 7, short, 50.
If it can make you feel any better, you're playing much better right now than I played during the recording of a certain game a few weeks ago. Wow. I was looking at the HDR video I recorded just this afternoon, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with them.
Well, you're going to have to
Find a way to edit them, yeah.
No, yeah, a way to edit really. Oh, see, I blimmed myself.
No, blaming yourself is going through at least 5 or 6 cars and then out of the corner.
People will understand that the videos you'll show will not be for gameplay but more for visuals.
Yeah, but there is nothing interesting in the visuals because I had no idea what I was going to record.
Yeah.
So I was trying to choose, okay, let's try a night race or a sundown race, and it didn't look right. Yeah, Mr. Tudus, Fodus, yeah, it's PC version at 60 FPS.
Running smoothly, except if Twitch or our setup is actually making it look choppy or something like that.
No, it looks okay right now.
Into chicane left, out, don't cut, 100.
Yeah, clearly it's in your eyes, it's just killing your
Left 8, long, tightens 5, short, 50.
But I thought you had like a workaround, like use
yeah, but even in grayscale and minimizing the, well, if I minimize OBS, it's okay, but then again, I can't control anything anymore. So yeah, no real point. So yeah, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Narrow, kick, into left 5, short, don't cut, 40. Right 5, don't cut, haystack in, and left 4, narrow, don't cut.
So damages, like I said, are not incredible, but I like the way the car gets dirty because of the mud or the...
Over finished!
It's pretty cool, and actually something that I didn't know in the beginning is that when you play in cockpit view and there's dust on the windshield, at some point you don't see anything anymore. But you can actually activate the wipers anytime you want, which is a nice thing to do.
So a very large question for you. How does it compare to WRC 6 and Dirt?
It's better in terms of visual compared to WRC 6. Now in terms of content, it's more or less the same. The stages have been remodeled, so they're even narrower than before. They're bumpier, which is very good. And more dangerous. They look really nice, and the different countries look very nice. Now, compared to Dirt Rally, well, if you're playing on PC, you have 60 frames per second, which is nice, of course. If you're playing on console, it's only 30, but it's locked, which I think it was the best best decision to take and to make it at the time, because they couldn't reach a steady 60 FPS. In terms of driving, it's much more accessible than Dirt Rally, but it doesn't mean that it's not demanding and you don't need to focus. I think the game is going to be hard for people because of the stages and because you really have to be careful and there's finesse in the driving. Now, if you're looking for a game where you're going to block your wheels every time you brake a bit too hard, this is not this type of game. There's enough realism to make me say that it's more sim than it's arcade, but it's still accessible, and I like the way the different surfaces feel and the changes in surfaces can be felt, and the way you drift on snow also. I usually don't like snow in rally games very much, but not only do
that's what I like the most.
Really, because not only does Sweden and Monte Carlo look very, very good in WRC 7, but driving on the ice or on the snow on the icy road, it's really, really, really pretty cool. And I'm only playing with a gamepad, and I played with a wheel in Cologne at Gamescom, and I had a lot of fun, and I could have stayed all day there. I actually has said to the developers, if I didn't have like appointments, I could just sit here and play all day. And yeah, my only grudge, I guess, the content is similar to WRC 6, the career and everything. There's nothing changed there, but because the stages are longer, but there are fewer of them in the end, so it's cooler, because when you drive one, you get to play for a little while. It can be sometimes it's not very, very long. It's like 4 or 5 minutes, but still sometimes 7, sometimes it's 10, which is nice. But I wish there were more stages, because they are actually very well crafted, and I know that our friend Alan from Team VVV also is having a lot of fun with the game, and again, I'm not surprised, because I could see right from the start that Kiloton had they knew how to make a car racing game, and even WRC 5 was pretty enjoyable in terms of driving, and it had that Colin McRae vibe, the original Colin McRae and Colin McRae 2.0, and if that's something you like, then go for it. If you want really new content, basically the content that's new is the new 2017 cars, which are a lot more powerful, and it changes a lot of things when you're on the road, because they're fast, and you need to learn stages again. And so that's what I can say. It's not dirt rally, but I think it's a pretty nice competitor now in the rally genre, and for people who don't want something easy, but who don't want to fight with the car like all the time, and with a frustratingly difficult learning curve, this is probably the game for you.
All right, I guess we will stop here. Yeah, it's time. So next live, well, we will have a lot of lives, I guess, in the next weeks and months, considering
I guess
how many games are going to be released.
Games keep arriving. Even like today, for tomorrow, which I won't be able to do, like I got the Dishonored DLC, but also like Divinity 2 just got released, so we have a code that actually I didn't even ask for, so we're supposed to now give the game some coverage, and yeah, there are games coming. There's Project Cars 2. I'm not sure we'll have the game before release. There might be a chance. It won't be a long time before release, so don't expect a review. My PC version that I actually backed is not available anymore because Steam actually took it away from me because the publisher said I couldn't play it anymore. And I have a new code when the game is released, which is always nice because I gave money and I have to wait until the game ships to play it. But well, anyway. And then there's Forza 7, of course. In car racing game this year, it's crazy. And Gran Turismo in October.
Anyway, we really have to stop.
Yeah, we have to stop. So, well, just stay tuned. And if there's a game we'll cover, just be there.
Yeah, see ya.
See ya.